Logging into NWEA and the class breakdown report.
Hello, my name is Joyce Schultz and I'm the Director of Testing. Today I'm going to take you through the steps to appropriately access NWEA.
And this will be great because it's very clear, the report that we get, it will tie in with the Compass Learning Path.
Correct. First, you want to click on the Applications bar after you access the intranet. The NWEA icon is located among the many icons there. You just need to click on that.
You can also access NWEA by coming up to the favorites in the right-hand corner, the star, then clicking on the RCSD teacher tools, and you see NWEA teacher logon. This is the best way and the only way to go directly to the site from home. Definitely go through the favorites bar.
Little information that comes up just needs to be clicked on continue. Often NWEA will post little updates in that login page. Every teacher that has had classes that have administered the NWEA last year or this year has an active login. If it hasn't been used in a while, folks may not remember their passwords, but everyone's username is their full email address. If your password if you've forgotten your password for whatever deal, there is a link underneath where you can reset your password yourself. That is the most efficient way to reset passwords. We don't keep a record of folks' passwords, so it's easier for you just to reset it there yourself.
Okay, that's good to know.
Right, and if you are an initial user and you've never had a login and you call Steve Kingdom in our office to set a new user up, you can expect to receive an email directly from NWEA with a temporary password, which will allow you to access the system and then reset the password to what it is you want to use. So after you've logged in your username and your password, you just submit. Once you've successfully logged in, you'll come to what's called the mark page for NWEA. You can always tell that you're in the correct place when you see the picture of the student exiting the school bus. Just want to point out that there's some excellent online resources on this page if you need to familiarize yourself with NWEA in general, with accessing reports. All of the online training, quick references, and support materials at the top are worth the time looking through. Right now we're going to take you to a snippet of an online training video that gives an overview of the report that we're going to be accessing.
Here.
Yep. Benefits of MAP reports for teachers. This helps frame the overall class breakdown by RIT report.
Hi, we're really happy to have you here today. As educators, we understand the importance of connecting the art of teaching with the science of data. And through MAP reports, we're able to do that. What we'd like to do today is walk you through a school year thinking about the different scenarios and the kind of data that will be helpful to you in each of those situations.
Thanks, Holly. I'm a middle school math teacher, and our school district has used MAP assessments for the past 2 years. Now I rely on MAP reports throughout the school year. I'm going to tell you how I use them in these 4 areas: understanding my students' needs, conducting parent conferences, preparing for the state test, and continually tracking my students' growth. But before I share about the reports I use, here's an important reminder. MAP reports are based on the RIT measurement scale. I like to think of it as a way to measure growth. Take my students, for example. Generally, they have RIT scores ranging from 180 to 240. What's important is how they advance along this scale over the school year, and I use the MAP reports to understand and measure that growth. A good place to start is the Class Breakdown by Goal report. Here's what it looks like online before I print. At a glance, I can see how my students differentiate for each area or goal in the overall subject of math. For example, with the number sense goal, I see this student falls in a lower RIT range and might need extra support with this goal. On the upper end of the RIT ranges, These students are performing at a higher level, and so would require a higher level of instruction. Taking a closer look, I can get even more insight into how I should differentiate instruction. Notice the number in parentheses. That number is the student's overall math RIT score. From that, I can see a student's relative strength. For example, this student is performing in a RIT range that is higher than his overall score. So this goal is a relative area of strength. For these other students, stop and think. Is their performance relatively strong or not? Actually, their performance is a potential concern for this goal because their overall RIT is higher than the RIT range where they are performing. The next step is to understand what instructions these students need. It's just a click away. This hyperlink opens the Descartes report. Descartes provides me with learning statements that are appropriate for instructing the students in the RIT range that I had clicked. For example, in the center column, I can focus on what they're ready to learn. In the left column, I see skills that I can enhance and reinforce. Finally, when these students are ready, I can use the right column for the next steps in their progression of learning.
The report just highlighted in the video that you've just seen can be found in the menu of map reports. On the left-hand side of the screen in blue, there's a link for viewing reports and instructional resources. You need to click on that. You need to click on map reports, and that will bring up a screen showing the array of different map reports right at the top. The report that we just looked at in the video was called the Class Breakdown Report, and it's the second one in the list. So you go into that report, it's going to ask you for the term rostered. You really only need to concern yourself with this drop down on the left-hand side, and you would be looking for the most recent results, which would be fall 2013-14. If you needed to go back to historical results, you can pick that from the drop-down menu. Your school will already be highlighted. The instructor, since it's your login, is also highlighted. Now you're going to scroll down to do a class breakdown report by RIT, and that's already bubbled in, and create the report. The report comes up fairly quickly. It is a summary report that shows both all of the mathematics results plus all of the reading results. We're going to click on the mathematics to drill down to the different substrands. So now I can see my class organized by how they performed on these different strands within math. Operations and algebraic thinking, the real and complex number systems, geometry, and statistics and probability. We're going to look at operations and algebraic thinking, and you'll see how your class spreads out across the different RIT bands.
Now these RIT bands, each band will have a learning path in Compass,
which is terrific. This is really the best report to use in conjunction with the Compass learning path.
This can also help with pulling small groups.
Yes, the one thing this is probably my favorite report within NWEA, because each time you administer the test, you would hope that your flexible groupings that you have within each RIT band are going to change a little bit, that students are going to move, especially if they're using the Compass learning paths to help improve their deficit areas. So what this configuration looks like now and what it might look like in January could be completely different, but that allows you to plan for your flexible groupings.
Okay, and I see the Create PDF, so you can just click there and then print it out also or save it to your computer. Sounds great. Thank you.
You're welcome.